play?
That can help him out a lot if he gets it. Obviously, having a turn 1 Yeti is a pretty big deal. But you have to kind of pick a plan and go with it.
Yeah.
One of the options is to go for that Watcher Ironbeak kind of play. Another possibility is he goes for just all of the big guys and just says, "Here's my
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
he's got that option right
Have an
now.
answer, or you
He's got
lose."
an Ancient
So,
Watcher and a Twilight Drake, so he ends up keeping both and keeping a Moral Coil too, just in case Maz gets one of those 1/1 totems. It could be quite useful. Looks like Maz he ended up dropping a Hex, didn't he? Did he drop a Hex?
I don't
Maybe
remember
not.
seeing a hex,
Oh,
but
okay, maybe not. Maybe. I mean, I would have been really surprised if he dropped a Hex. There's no way he did. Okay, so anyways, he redraws or he draws a Hex, so he's gonna be ready for any kind of Mountain Giant play here.
yeah, and it looks like Kungen is saying, "Well,
Oh, there's
I don't have an
Alkir.
owl yet, but there's Alec here. He's a little bit late, but that's okay." But yeah, it looks like Kungen's saying, "Well, even if I don't draw the owl, I can still tap and potentially Mortal Coil that 1/1, and I still have a pretty good Drake afterwards."
Wow, he's got two Mortal Coils here too, so going to be able to draw a card, kind of cycle this this Mortal Coil. He's trying to decide what he wants to do because he can actually coin out the Drake here, which again is kind of risky sometimes against a Shaman because an Earth Shock at 1 mana can just remove that card instantly. But
Yep.
thankfully,
But
Amaz
Amaz
does not
still
have
has
that.
to have the Earthshock. Like,
Yeah.
that's the big thing is he's going with the "do you have it" kind of style, which is very, very forcing and usually makes for very quick and fairly entertaining games.
Okay, so Amaz is in a
if-
pretty difficult position right now because, again, Earthshock is usually saved for the Twilight Drakes, but he doesn't have it, so he might actually have to use a Hex here, which he'd prefer to use on one of the Giants. But he's going to go ahead and pass on that. He's going to put an Unbound Elemental on that instead.
Yeah, he doesn't really have to answer the Drake yet. He does have a Taunt Totem. It's a lot more likely that Kungen would have owled his Watcher if he had it last turn.
Yeah.
So we don't really see a whole lot of pressure on Amaz to deal with the Drake yet.
Okay, so Kungen trying to, I think, removing that 1/1 and ends up trying to dig a little bit more. He doesn't have any follow-up Giants to this Twilight Drake, or even the second Twilight Drake. So Maz definitely safe at this point from a crazy opening from Kungen. He's going to go ahead and Sun Fury the Ancient Protector, or the Ancient Watcher, sorry, and make Amaz actually have to go through that 4/5.
Let's be honest, it's basically an Ancient Protector.
Ancient Protector. He watches, man. Come on. He watches.
That Taunt Totem is actually going to be pretty useful for him. If he rolls the 50-50 on the Sun Fury Protector,
Yeah.
then he probably gets to trade the Unbound with the Drake and the Watcher. And he actually does get that 50-50. No, he doesn't even swing the Unbound into the Watcher. I actually like that a lot more.
Yeah, because he could
Then
storm
just
again next
bring
turn
it
if he wants to, and kind of buff it up a little bit more, and maybe even remove it altogether, right? He's actually got the. Does he have the Argent Commander next turn too? Or no, he actually has Overload from the Lightning Storm. Okay, so it looks
Yeah,
like
he'll be on
Kungen-
4 mana.
Kungen looks. Let's see. Let's see what plays Kungen has here. He's going ahead and life tap, see what he can draw here. Draws a Power Overwhelming, which isn't really very useful for him here. Let's see, he could Hellfire, he
looking
could
at Mortal Coil,
Soulfire, Mortal
Soulfire.
Coil. Yeah.
1 out of 6 he loses.
Oh, he
Oh,
lost the Mortal Coil. Oh, that's brutal.
I'm not unsurprised, or I'm not that surprised by that happening, just because usually it's like, what's the worst that could happen? And then it usually does. But that is very brutal for Kungen here.
All right,
Especially
Amaz
'cause
trying
Amaz
to
actually has- He just has a 50-50 shot on the Watcher if he wants. But he can definitely clear board very easily without using a Hex here.
Yeah, I think. I mean, his choices are really to do a 50-50 there. I mean, he could just lead with the Rock Biter and just hit it. But then.
Yeah, but then
Twilight Drakes.
the Unbound doesn't kill the Twilight Drake by itself. So
Right.
he actually needs the Lightning Storm both to grow the Drake, and I mean it gives him the 50-50, but
Let's
worst
just
case
yeah.
scenario is you use the Rock Biter as well.
You should just roll the dice here, I think. I mean, the rewards are. Oh, actually, what is he doing? Okay, he's
Alright.
gonna. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's
That's not a
actually
bad play
hexing.
either.
Okay. So
I think I would have personally saved the Hex as long as possible,
yeah.
but
I mean, actually,
he's not
hexing
really
the Twilight
afraid of
Drake.
giants here.
Yeah. Well, he's not afraid of the giants, but it is going to be beneficial to Kungen if he can draw a couple mountain giants here, in the next few draws. But he ended up drawing a molten giant, which is not going to be played for quite some time now. So yeah, Amaz with a just the kind of the immediate play, which I think is ended up being really good. He draws the Earthshock now, right after he played the Hex. That's kind of brutal. But at least he'll have it for the next
Right
round,
on time, right?
Yeah, right on time. That's how the game works sometimes.
Exactly.
Well, at least he'll be able to remove the Ancient Watcher this turn. Kind of have a free path to hitting to the face if he wants to. It can always be tricky to decide when to hit face and whatnot against a handlock.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do here? You think
The
he's
other
going to just take the 4 damage here and maybe Argent Commander?
I think I would, just because Hellfire is a huge swing if you just charge into it with Argent Commander.
Yeah.
The other option actually is to cash in that Unbound Elemental. It's gotten great value for you so far. Well, great-ish. And then just slam the Argent Commander and hit for 5. And actually,
Yep.
this looks like what he's going to do. He's completely immune to Hellfire and Shadow Flame.
Yeah. I mean, I think it helps.
Actually,
Okay, go ahead. I think it helps to keep the Rockbiter too. Just because he has the Alkir, the combo
yeah,
that he can.
exactly.
I mean, if he draws the second Rockbiter, I mean, we could see a really great finish from him from Alkir, which he's actually already in range of potentially dying if he draws it on turn 10. Okay, so let's see. Looks like he ends up. He ended up siphoning it, right?
Yeah, he siphoned the Argent Commander, and throws down a Drake, rolls a Taunt Totem, and
Good turn.
he's pretty well in control. Kungen can't play any of these giants.
Yeah, he can't play
Hellfire
any
doesn't
giants.
actually do a whole lot here.
Does he? He's getting. He doesn't quite have lethal next turn. Amaz doesn't, but he's getting quite close. I mean, he could actually set up lethal for the following turn if Kungen doesn't do much on this turn here.
Yeah,
He
if
could
you top
siphon-
decks the other Rockbiter, you will have lethal actually.
Yeah. I mean, one option, he could Siphon Soul that Azure Drake, but then that's just really hurting his chances of getting down the Molten Giants again with the Argus. That's really the play that he wants to get right now, is the double Molten Defender of Argus play. But he's going to go ahead and delay it a little bit more. Get rid of that Azure Drake. Again, the Shaman doesn't have a lot of giant targets. It's really just the Fire Elementals and the Azure Drake. And then, Alkir, for some reason, Alkir has to sit on the board for a period of time. So he ends up doing that, and then the Fire Elemental comes down, which is really, really strong play for Amaz.
Yeah, Amaz is, again, well in control of this game. He's got a huge burst in his hand, and Kungen doesn't really have any way to remove anything on Amaz's board that matters. He can't play his giants.
He needs a Shadow Flame is what he needs. Oh, there we go.
I mean,
Okay.
even the Shadow Flame, I guess he could Shadow Flame the Fire Ellie. He can copy the Fire Ellie and then Shadow Flame, which is
Yeah,
probably what
exactly.
he's going to do here.
He needs to
But,
remove the board. Yeah.
Yeah, but even if he does that, I mean, he's still got the 2/1/1s that he has to deal with on the next turn, and Amaz just gets a free hand to play whatever he wants, so...
Yeah, the issue of using the faceless manipulator too for Kungen is he kind of removes that range kind of finish that he has with the Leroy faceless power overwhelming combo. So that's definitely not possible for him now. And Amaz is sitting at 30 health right now too, so
Yeah.
he's far from dying, that's for sure. Kungen's going to have to get a lot of those giants on the board to win this game.
I fight.
All right, so Amaz developing the
Amaz,
board even more.
if he gets a little
here.
overzealous, then... Yeah, the only way I see Amaz losing this game is if he... for some reason gets Kungen to like 10 life or something and just gives Kungen a free giant taunt clear turn.
Okay, so if he... Okay, he's going to have to Alexstrasza here, and that's going to be lethal for Amaz if that happens, I believe.
If he
Unless he
Alexstrasza's,
Soulfire.
he's going to
He's
Soulfire the
Soulfire.
2-4.
Yeah, he can Soulfire the 2 and then it'll take him down to 14, which will keep him out of lethal range, just 2 out of lethal range. But it's looking pretty rough here. I mean, Amaz actually has a Hex, too, that he could just Hex it immediately if he wanted to.
There is an interesting play here where you can Soulfire yourself and then play the 2 Molten Giants.
Yes! Oh, those are the
Defender
plays,
of
baby. Those are the plays.
But,
Okay, he's going to opt to do the Hellfire instead. Play the double Giants and then Soulfire the Unbound Elemental. I think that's a really good play there.
well, yeah, except now he's kind of naked to any kind of finish that Amaz has. He does end up Soulfiring at 2-4 anyways.
Oh, he
It's not
okay, he
quite
ended up
enough
drawing
for Amaz.
Yeah, he doesn't have quite enough to actually finish it. So I think he's going to have to try to remove these things. At least one of
Yeah,
them.
he does have 1 Hex, so I'm sure that helps him out quite a bit. That's one easy-ish clear. He's probably thinking, why couldn't I have just drawn a Lightning Bolt?
Yeah, I mean, because of this turn, I think Kungen has a real shot at this. We'll see. He's got an Alexstrasza follow-up, too, to give himself some... I mean, if he Alexstrazzas and none of these Giants are removed, I mean, he has lethal, right? But definitely one's going to get hexed. Gotta get hexed.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else is going to happen here? So he passes. Wow, okay. I mean, that's probably the best play there. But Kungen's looking, like I said, Kungen's looking pretty good here. He's going to have a taunt. He can taunt the Ancient Watcher and the Giant.
This game has turned around very, very
Yeah,
quickly.
this is actually really good for Kungen.
Both of these decks kind of are capable of turning games around in a one-turn sequence. Amaz has kind of been drawing for like any source of damage for 4 or 5 turns, didn't find it, and now Kungen's back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so it looks like Amaz ended up drawing an Argus, which doesn't really help him here. He does have an Earth Shock, which can at least get rid of the taunt on one of these units, but that's not going to really help him much.
He'll have to roll a totem first. I mean, he's not going to play Alakir most likely, so there's no harm really in just rolling the totem, see what you get first.
Got it. Okay, so he got the spell power totem, and that at least gives him. Oh man,
he can kill everything but the Giant, basically.
Yeah, and then he can taunt up the totems, which can alleviate some damage here.
Yeah, if he rolls a 4 on that Ancient Watcher, then he can finish up with the Earthshock. Otherwise, he can Defender, hit, and Earthshock, or just Rockbiter it.
Okay, and he ended up rolling a 4, I believe, right? Yeah, he ended up rolling a 4 on the Ancient Watcher, so he can actually remove it.
Yeah, I think
it's hard to tell.
That's probably the best line of play here. Yeah, he did roll the 4. I'd probably just Defender and Earthshock that Watcher. Next turn, he's overloaded a bit, but you can kill the Giant with like an Alakir Divine Shield hit, then the Defender, and then you have an Alakir active on the board. And Kungen actually might not have an easy way to deal with it. He's used both of his.
Yeah, I mean, Alakir, like at 5 health, is not something that's going to be easily removed by Kungen. So let's see what happens here. Okay.
Interesting. See what he does.
Oh man, he drew a Hellfire.
Yeah.
That's going to be really good for him. Oh, he has an Owl too. So this is going to be a really good turn for Kungen here. Let's see what he does. Does he just go ahead and sack the Ancient Watcher here with the Hellfire play, or is he going to actually enable the... he goes and enables the Ancient Watcher, removes the other taunt with the Giant, and might call it a turn after that. But that's
actually really dangerous for him.
Yeah, this is going to be lethal right here for...
No, Amaz is overloaded by 2 because he Lightning Storm last turn.
That's right. You're right.
So he's not dead yet, but
This is so close.
It
This
is
crazy.
pretty dangerous.
Oh, he drew the other rock fighter. Oh
The
my
other
God.
rock fighter.
So really, he just
So I
has to.
think
Let's see. He just has to survive one turn here and just hope that Kungen doesn't
Yeah.
get a big taunt up, which he doesn't have a taunt right now. So even if he Alex Strazes, it doesn't even. I don't think it matters. And well, actually, if he Alex Strazes, then he'd have 13 damage on the board with the power overwhelming. Wow, this is crazy, man. Okay, so he ends up earth shocking the taunt. He ended up drawing a taunt totem, which is crazy. Crazy fortunate for him. But he ends up removing one of the minions on the board with one of the rock fighters instead of playing for the huge Alcure play. What do you think? Is that going to end up?
Yeah, that's a
Costing
little bit
him?
surprising to me, actually. I
That
would
might
have,
end up costing
yeah, I would
him,
have expected
actually.
him to keep the rock fighter.
Yeah, that play's gonna
like you're-
potentially cost him the game. Let's see.
Wow.
Wow. Oh man, just that one rock biter removal there. Oh, I don't think he really thought about the potential of Alex Strazza. He was really just thinking about just the nine damage.
You know what? I think this is what you have to do here. You have to go Alec here, rock biter, and hit for 12, and then just hope to draw a lightning bolt. I don't think
Yeah.
he really has any other options. Alec,
So does Kunken have
Taunt is
lethal
really
next
fortunate for him.
turn? Kunken has lethal next turn though.
yeah, if
Yeah,
well,
I think
Amaz obviously didn't go with Alec here, so yeah.
okay,
I'm
so
getting-
Amaz is just
That's lethal.
just rolling the dice here. That was an odd play of just rolling the dice there. I'm kind of surprised he didn't do anything there.
Well, I kind of know what he's thinking, except, I mean, Kungen's played Alex Strazza.
Man, what a
I'm not
game.
gonna get a better chance to play Alec here, and it's the most expensive thing that I have. So I think that was kind of a misstep by Amaz.
Kunken takes